means working from the ground up. If you're looking for a career in media and publishing, our next speaker got you covered. With stories and advice to help you on your exciting journey, off and online. Please all welcome One Mega Group's president, Suki Salvador.
Hello, NYLON Manila. Good afternoon. I am so happy to be here with all of you. But to begin, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Suki Salvador, and I am the president of One Mega Group, one of the top media companies in the Philippines. This October, our company turns 30 years old. It was 30 years ago when our late founder, Sari Yap, conceived Mega, the Philippines' best fashion magazine. So, a short story. About the same age as you are right now, 30 years ago, Sari Yap was studying her master's in Navarra, Spain. And to graduate, she needed to write a thesis. She knew she wouldn't stay in Europe forever, and that was never her intention. Sari wanted to go back home to her native Philippines to bring back what she learned and to do something with her degree. She wanted to do something not just for herself, but for the Philippines. Just like some of you, she also struggled. She didn't know what topic to write about, and she knew that stepping away, taking a break from the situation, from the struggle, was probably a good idea. So Sari chilled and relaxed. On one of her leisurely walks in Navarra, she chanced upon a beautiful image of a woman in her 30s on the cover of a Spanish fashion magazine, Pelva. This woman had just the right amount of makeup to even out her skin tone. She had mascara that helped brighten and enlarge her eyes, and she was wearing a beautiful bright blouse. The magazine had big fonts detailing what was inside the magazine. A similar approach to clickbait articles you find on Twitter or YouTube these days. Sari was so inspired. She had found her topic for her thesis. And more than finding a thesis topic, Sari was inspired to create the first glossy fashion magazine for the Filipina. And she did just that immediately after college. She created Mega magazine. While Sari was in graduate school, I must have been in middle or high school, somewhere there. My brother had gotten sick with dengue and I was his bantay in the hospital. He almost died. Luckily, he had brilliant doctors who were able to cure him, and I saw everything happen right before my eyes. I was so fascinated with medicine, and that experience made me realize I wanted to become a doctor. In high school, I studied all the sciences: biology, physics, chemistry, psychology, and advanced math. I was told that during that time, if you wanted to be a doctor or get into an Ivy League school, you had to be well-rounded. So I signed up for the student council. I played a varsity sport, volleyball. I was also part of the school yearbook. I was in the science club, Model United Nations, National Honor Society. I did everything. I even joined the art club. My high school guidance counselor at that time told me I should get into the arts in college because I had the highest score in art class. I laughed so hard at her because until this very day, I don't know how to draw. In fact, until now, I draw using stick figures to give instructions to my art department. I ignored her and pursued a pre-med program. I double majored in biology and math at New York University, and I enjoyed the arts and took a few classes here and there, and just like Carrie Russell from the TV show Felicity, I was basically living in the library just to pass my classes. And then one day, it dawned on me that I hate 48-hour days. You see, I've never pulled off an all-nighter in my life, and honestly, I turned into a monster after 2 a.m. how would I ever take care of a patient if I don't do well in the wee hours of the morning? So I quit. I turned my back on all those years of hard work. Just like Sari, I came back home to the Philippines. But this time I was sad, I was depressed, and I was feeling very lost. But since I don't like being idle, I took on some odd jobs to pass time. I became a volleyball coach. I also did theater production until I finally landed a job at a photography studio. I was getting paid 10,000 pesos for my very first job as an operations assistant. And 1 month into the job, I fell in love with it. The creative bug hit me. I was learning all these cool things like how to do photography, styling, makeup, layout, retouching. And on the business side, I was also learning how to cost out projects, how to client service, and to provide after sales. I fell in love with media. And this is when I realized that our careers in the future are already decided. Even at an early age, for some of us in grade school and for others in high school. So for you watching today, your careers have already been chosen for you. Listen to that voice that is telling you to carry on. Listen to that voice that is telling you to change courses or majors. The universe is always pushing you to the right direction. And it's important that you must listen because the universe is taking care of you. I've been working in media now for 13 years, and before I became president of this amazing company, I learned vicariously through my colleagues. I learned by listening to them and by watching them. When I started my first job, we were using film and transparencies. I was doing that job for 5 years, and towards the middle, we finally shifted to digital cameras completely. At that time, we were storing images on CDs and DVDs until we eventually moved to thumb drives and external hard drives. Today, we are using things like Dropbox, WeTransfer, and Google Drive. But when I really think about it, it is only technology that has changed, not the discipline of media. And that is what you need to learn, the discipline of media. I learned a lot of things very early on in my working years, and I really wish someone told me these things so that I could have spent more time enjoying my life, maybe hanging out with a friend, my family. But luckily today, I'm going to tell you those lessons. You know, we study so much in college, but unless you are aiming for a very specialized field like engineering or the sciences, the only thing you really need to learn is 3 things. You need to learn how to write, to speak, and to do math. These things are essential to any career that you choose, whether you are an editor, a writer, a PR person, a social media manager, an influencer, or whatever it is you choose to do. Learn how to write and write well. There will be days when you have to create a social media caption that could potentially go viral and earn millions of pesos for your company. There might be a time that you need to do damage control as a PR specialist, and you need to be able to say the right things. You need to string the right words to communicate your thoughts properly every time, even in regular texts or emails. We can't always speak in GIFs and emojis or acronyms like SKL, SLR, or IYKYK. You need to write well so that you can make a resume that will stand out, or a resignation letter that will convince your boss to let you go. Or also a letter of complaint to a top company for bad service. Writing well will get you ahead of the curve. If you learn to write well, you can also learn how to speak well. And I can't emphasize how important this is. If you speak well, you will command attention, especially when you would like to be heard. If you speak well, you'll be able to effectively get your message across and affect change and provide a solid opinion. If you speak well, you can convince at least one person to hopefully be kinder to someone else or improve the lives of our countrymen. If you speak well, you will also learn when you are supposed to stay silent. Because timing, knowing when to listen, is also just as important as speaking. If you write and speak well, you are already ahead of the population. And if you want to go even further in life, you must learn how to do the math. You will all learn that all jobs that you accept or the businesses you create will be about money. Sad, I know. But you see, everything, even non-profit organizations or foundations, need money. Everything is a business, and you need to understand that right now. Everything has a cost. Nothing is free. Your future jobs are exactly that. They are just jobs. They are a means to have a life, to be able to afford things like food and clothing and transportation. And when you do have extra money, that's when you can buy a new smartphone or go on a vacation or purchase the things that give you joy. But if you don't know how to do the math, even basic math, you will run into problems. As early as now, understand profit and loss. Understand what it means to have a healthy bottom line. Learn taxation. All of these things will help you cost out your future projects and keep losses at bay. It will help guide you determine what salary is fair for you, your company, your level that you are going to be working for. Learning how to do the math will give you excellent perspective of reality so that you will know exactly what you need to do to get to the next level. Today's talk is about careers in digital media, and while things have changed since I first joined the industry 20 years ago, not much has really changed in terms of skills needed. It is only technology that has changed. First, I ask that all of you create a portfolio. More than a resume, a portfolio is what your bosses will look at. Portfolios give us an idea what your style is like. It gives us a peek into your brain to see what your opinions are like, the values that you have, and what you are trying to say. We want to know what you stand for. It doesn't matter if you are applying for a non-creative job. It is important that we see your portfolio because even the most seasoned people in digital media have a portfolio, a body of work they are proud of. Today, we are still hiring the same positions, but with new names. When I joined, I was looking for graphic artists. Today, we are looking for multimedia artists. They are essentially the same thing. The only difference is their work is now seen on a smartphone or another gadget. Still, we want your ideas so that we can put them on a magazine, a website, social media, YouTube, TikTok, Clubhouse, and all the new apps coming out very soon. Before, we were looking for writers. Today, we are still looking for writers. Writers that will eventually become editors. You see, these people, artists and writers, they will never go jobless, ever, because we live in a world that is visual. We live in a world that needs to communicate and share news, ideas, and opinions. This is part of being a human being living in this time. Perhaps the next generation after you will not put visuals and text on digital anymore. It will probably be consumed in the air or through a chip in your brain. I don't know. But what I do know is you need people that can string words beautifully together, and we will need people that can put shapes and colors together nicely. Now, if you join larger digital media companies, there will be jobs available for you who like, say, social media. We are looking for content creators, people that know effective visuals at a specific time, people that are witty and can get the attention of a large audience through a single post, video editors that can create content and say everything in 5 to 15 seconds of footage and text. And on the flip side, we are also looking for analysts, business-minded people who are looking into numbers and data and have the capacity to deduce behavior and tendencies and transform these into strategies. We are looking for minds that can read trends from numbers. These people can point us to the right direction so that we can make the right content that people want and will enjoy. Digital media companies want you, the nerds, the perfectionists, the ones with OCD, people that like production and organizing and systematizing processes. We want web developers that can make our apps and websites cool and simple for users. We are also looking for individuals who like to speak to other people and convince them to come on board with our products and ideas. We want people that can sell our ideas and make money out of it using their convincing powers. But we also need accountants, makeup artists, stylists, photographers, production designers, architects, chefs, interior designers, and even drivers. You see, digital media doesn't just need writers and artists. We are more than that, because it takes an army to put out photos, text, and images on, say, Facebook. We also need business people and administrative staff that like media and the arts. The thing is, there is a slice for everyone. If you enjoy digital media and fall into any or all of these things that I've been saying, consider a career in digital media, because if you do and you become successful, you will have a currency that no other profession or industry has. That currency is your voice. And if your voice is loud and clear and correct, people will listen and you will become an agent of change so that your life becomes better. The lives of your loved ones become better. And the life of your countrymen become better. So go ahead, follow that passion, whatever that may be. Digital media is all about being first. It is about agility. So hurry up and find a career that you love. Thank you, everyone, and have a great afternoon. Hold up! I have one more thing to say. NYLON Manila is looking for an intern to work with us. So send us a 600-word essay on why you have what it takes to be part of the digital media industry, together with your portfolio. Guys, I can't wait to see it. Please submit your entries to the email flashed on your screen. We will wait for your submission until August 13th, and don't forget to include your name, email address, and contact information. Goodbye!